Baruch Hashem, it is day number 246 of our daily study of Rambam Sefer HaMitzvos. In the 3 chapters a day study track of Mishnah Torah, we are finishing Hilchos Nizkei Mammon, the laws of monetary damages, with chapters 12, 13, and 14. That is the end. That's a completion of the first set of halachas in the book of Nizikin, of damages. So, mazel tov on that. Our mitzvah today is a repeat. You know, the way we study Sefer HaMitzvos is we study mitzvahs not in the order that they are in Sefer HaMitzvos, but in the order that corresponds to whatever subject matter is being studied in the 3 chapters a day of Mishnah Torah. Well, I got news for you. I mentioned this yesterday. There are 4 archetypical categories of damages: the goring ox, the grazing ox, the pit, and the fire. Okay, well, it took us 5 days to go through. Right? Does that make sense mathematically? There are 14 chapters. Yeah, so it took us 5 days to go through these halachas. So we're going to have to repeat a mitzvah. So which mitzvah we're repeating? The one from yesterday. So here we go. Positive Commandment 241. You know it from yesterday, right? Remember what it was? That's right. It is the mitzvah to follow the laws regarding damage caused by fire. Okay, since it's a repeat, I'll add a little information that I didn't tell you yesterday. Fire is different than the other 3 categories of damage in that it incurs greater liability. Without getting into a whole detailed discussion of it, there's always a question of, like, to what extent does my liability last? Meaning, sometimes there's a direct cause and then there's an indirect cause. So when it comes to the other 3 categories, it's really only liability for direct damage that was caused. With fire, however, it's a higher degree of liability because it's considered a higher degree of agency. Meaning to say, if my ox goes out and gores, or if my ox goes and wanders into someone else's field and eats their food, or if a pit that I dug causes an animal to fall in and get hurt. So I'm responsible, but it's sort of removed from me by the time it happens. My fire, however, is considered an extension of me. The way that the sages describe it, actually, in the Talmud, they say it's like shooting an arrow. That a person's fire is like his arrow. Meaning, once you shoot an arrow, you cannot say, well, now I'm done. Whatever happens, it's not none of my business. No. By shooting the arrow, you are now responsible for everything that happens until that arrow lands, until it hits wherever it hits. So there's a greater degree of liability because there's a greater degree of direct agency when it comes to this category of damage. And as I explained in previous classes, we're not saying specifically an ox, specifically a pit, specifically fire. These are categories. So, for instance, what do I mean by categories? For instance, what's the law if, and don't say to me, well, that's crazy, nobody would do that. Well, what if they did? Let's say somebody balances a knife on the ledge of a building and he leaves it there. And then the wind comes and knocks the wind off the ledge and it hurts somebody, God forbid. So that case would be treated as an offshoot of the law of damage caused by someone's fire because it's the same type of thing. It's a similar type of concept. Make sense? Okay, fine. So that's the end of Hilchos Nizkei Mammon, Mazel Tov. And tomorrow, you want a sneak preview? You want to know what we're starting tomorrow? Which laws? Should I tell you? I'll tell you. Hilchos Gneva, the laws of theft. You're going to show up for it tomorrow now that you know what it is? All right, I'll see you tomorrow, God willing.